this live a few minutes early. We're gonna see if my devices behave because and there we go, right there. My iPad is not behaving. Gotta prop something up there to make it so that it behaves and charges. It's like, what do I got to do to get my devices to behave? It's like, I'm sure this isn't what you expected when you tuned into something that's a sports watch party to see someone complaining about technology not behaving, but you know, it's the world we live in today. Especially when it's me, you're gonna get complaints about technology refusing to behave. Got 90 seconds to game time, 90 seconds to kickoff. Really hope to get some people in on this watch party. As you can see, I don't currently have any Roots gear, so I'm just wearing some I'm just showing off my Oakland pride. Got 50 seconds. Let's hope this link works. By the way, I'm going to show off what I'm doing. I'm doing something called livetv.sx. So, like for example, for the YouTube, don't be kidding me, for the YouTube USL link, that does not like the region that I'm in. So this allows me to stream it without having to deal with that. This phone is really getting on my nerves. Let's see if the other link is going to work. The trouble that I have with getting this device just to charge. Don't you hate it when it says you can skip an ad only to show you that you could not have skipped that ad? Constantly checking to make sure it's charging because this thing is showing me it does not want to behave. Do these links want to behave? Let's try the YouTube link. Nope, the YouTube link now it's going back to telling me it's not available in this country. And it's like, you know, you're talking about two teams that operate in the country which I live in. That's a little ridiculous, YouTube, that you're region blocking it. Now, come on. Really? Really, we're doing this? I want to watch the game. I don't want to deal with nonsense. Technology does not like to behave for me. Why wouldn't it default to playing? Just why? Hopefully because it put an ad up. Hey, free samples. Let's hope this behaves. Like, I mean, this is the price you pay for using what you can get for free. You know? Like, this is the price I pay. Finally! Now, how much am I going to have to check on the iPad to make sure that it's actually charging? You know what? My battery says it's at 57%, so... let's try that. Did it really just mute itself? After I just got it to behave. There we go. Alrighty. And good, we've got Blanchett in goal, and Rodriguez leading things off, so feeling pretty hopeful about this game.
This season for Oakland, they didn't make it to the postseason last year. They missed it by just a point. They're back for the first time in 2 years and in a position as the 7th seed where they've never lost in the...
Really? Part of the thing of free sims. It's part of what comes with it. But, you know, I'm just like, you know, and now it's telling me it's down, and it opened up a million pop-ups. Let's try try to reopen it. Let's hope it behaves. You know, it's just such a perfect representation of my life. Me fighting with technology just to do what it's supposed to do.
I've been playing this game for 4 years. Obviously, I love it and listen, but today I have
Got
a
an
very,
ad.
very special promo code to
Now let's hope we can get it working, please. This is way too many interruptions right at the beginning when I'm trying to get set up. You know what? Maybe I'll try to move closer to the source of the internet if I'm plugging my iPad into my battery anyway. You know, because the reason I came in here was to get my iPad working, and that didn't really work out, so I'm gonna try to go in my room, can get my phone plugged in. Maybe it's about my proximity to the source of the internet. Me fighting with technology is just the story of my life, you know? Technology that's designed to get outdated quickly, and me refusing to budge. Buy a new equivalent every year. And that link is not doing shit except opening up pop-ups that I do not want. It's annoying trying to deal with technology. I'm just gonna... USL free stream. Oh, and of course, if I click on this, it's going to tell me to get ESPN Plus. I don't want to get ESPN Plus. It's like, I don't want to spend money. Well, let's see. I always have the nuclear option. Setting up a VPN on here. The free VPN real quick. That I can, like Rowdy Bear. Or whatever. Free VPN. Just taking the nuclear option here. I love how I said that I was doing this. And then I'm spending. And I have to watch 3 ads to get 2 hours. Of VPN access, and who's gonna say where it's gonna locate my VPN? Like, what if it just locates me in LA? Because, like, that would just be my luck, wouldn't it? To install a VPN, and then, like, when I'm doing it because I want to watch my roots. Let's check to make sure. I'm sorry this stream has not been much of me reacting to the game, and it has been more about me complaining about the shitty technology that's designed to make you spend money and replace it every year. Because it's like my battle with technology just happens to be that a battle against planned obsolescence. How many things do I need to close on this damn ad? That was one nasty ad. Hopefully this ad is not as nasty. And then I can actually start watching the game. And let's also hope YouTube doesn't have some sort of anti-VPN thing. It's ridiculous that USL doesn't let their own fans watch USL on YouTube if they're in the country where the USL teams are based. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Let's see. Now I am connected. Let's see. Let's see if I can get the game. Here we go. We're live, and it's still 0-0, so doesn't seem like anything big happened.
Rocha. Followed by Rasmussen. What can sometimes be a really chaotic attack for the switchbacks. Mahoney clipping it up ahead, tried to find Hanya. He finds
Save Blanchett.
Good positioning from Blanchett, high off his line, aggressive positioning, calm, composed with a little touch
Nice.
of the chest, and then settling things down. You're
Nice
seeing
save, Paul.
Time wasting, but not because he thinks he's going to time waste for 0-0, but time wasting just to calm the moment, allow his back line an opportunity to regroup.
Talked a little bit earlier about the ups and downs of Oakland's season. Colorado Springs had that as well. Lost the first 5 games of this season, which just seems like a millennia ago, considering how things have changed. James Chambers talked about throughout the season how roles just needed to be defined in the team. That changed everything, and they've been one of the best teams in the league ever since.
And as much as they won't want to remember that terrible streak, learning from that adversity is a good thing. It makes you tougher. It brings you together as a team. I've been part of losing teams, and the culture ends up forming, and you start to learn a lot about yourselves in those difficult moments.
Ooh, that was...
It's also interesting, we highlighted the Roots' ups and downs. We kind of put together a little bit of a resume of how Oakland's season has gone. They have some of the best wins in the league. Wins over Tampa Bay and Sac Republic and Louisville, Vegas and New Mexico. We talked to Gavin Glinton again about some of the tough losses. The 5-0 last time out against Birmingham, a 5-0 loss against Carolina and Pittsburgh as well. They're still trying to figure out some things defensively, but it's
Ooh,
a good
nice.
season. That's the big thing that Gavin Glinton stressed to us. He's confident in his group.
And this Oakland Roots side, if you're a neutral, it's always entertaining. You're always on the edge of the seat. But I don't know if it's quite as enjoyable for the fan base, never knowing which side is going to, what the scoreline was in your last game. You have a clean slate, and Clinton told us, I understand this pressure, and we embrace it as players.
I'll do that
I can't
occasionally
wait to
so
get on the
that
field.
you guys can see the stream I'm watching.
A little bit of a testy moment on this near side. It leads to an Oakland throw. And we talked to a few people around the Oakland team this week, and
Right.
there's kind of more of a sigh of relief that Oakland made the playoffs
Come on.
this year.
Let's
How's it
know our
happened last
roots.
year, because the years that they did make it, it was
Sending.
more of a second half surge instead of kind of a holding on to a playoff spot. And of course, there are fans who were told there's going to be watch parties around Oakland tonight, hoping that the Roots can pull through again.
Unfortunately, I'm not in Oakland, so, like, I mean, I'm an Oakland fan, but, like, I mean, I'm in Southern California, so... I wish I could be at one of those watch parties.
They've soaked up a quarter of an hour of pressure. They haven't conceded early. They haven't been forced out of a huge save or a big defensive moment as of yet. It's been a lot of possession for Colorado Springs, but possession doesn't change the scoreline.
The ball was intended for Hanya. Assistant referee gives the throw into Colorado Springs. And it's quickly put back into play for Matt Mahoney. Mahoney with some space to operate here, but Baca closes him down and leaves a little extra on him as he finds Lacroix.
Colorado Springs has the ball in the Oakland zone.
Real.
Let's get it out of our own zone.
Speedy Williams hasn't scored this season, but does have 4 assists.
Let's put some pressure on their goalie. Let's not let them control play like this.
Finding McGee. And Williams for Rocha. Rocha clipping one in. And Enriquez, well, he certainly floated to try to get to that, but could not get his head onto it.
It was such an awkward one in terms of the timing from Enriquez as we take another peek. It's a ball that's hung in the air by Rocha, and you just see it here. He just doesn't time his jump quite right. It ends up just trying to get some extra hang time, but encouraging signs as Enrique.
You just saw the replay there.
He's got a header on frame.
2 goals and 2 assists for Jairo Enriquez in front of this.
Dolly, 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 Oakland Roots. Dolly, 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 Oakland Roots. Dolly, Oakland Roots. Trying to bring some of that energy.
Not just great moments with the switchbacks, but of course he's well capped for El Salvador in CONCACAF play as well. It's a little bit of a feeling out process in this Western Conference quarterfinal. Hackshaw getting on the
All right, some good defense. I want to see some offense, though.
Picks up the pieces for Real. Time for Tyreek McGee to turn. He loves that left foot. Doesn't get a chance to release anything.
Come on, Roots.
McGee cuts it back. Plays in Rocha. Rocha for Hanya. Hanya for Damas.
Ooh, and Colorado Springs put it over the net.
It's a really frustrating one for Damas in the end, but it's Rocha involved in the build-up.
Here, they just put it over the net.
Beautiful square pass, weights it nicely, and then in the end, it's the body positioning of Damas leaning back, skies it over. It's also good pressure.
So Blanchette did not have to make the save.
Finish, and ends up thwarting Damas's focus in the moment.
It already feels like, as we're approaching the first 20 minutes gone, this opening round playoff game, patience is going to be very important for Oakland in this game tonight. Many teams have had to try and deal with that at Widener Field this season. And as we highlighted earlier, not many have left with the result.
It's really frustrating because you want to go forward, you want to attack, but you also have to be so careful with the risks that you take, because if you leave yourself exposed, they're going to be able to counter, they're going to be able to punish, they score goals for fun in their building. So for Oakland Roots, it's the delicate fine margin of don't come out.
Yes!
Don't come
We got it out.
Weak, but you also have to
now let's put some pressure on them.
Because they might not be regularly occurring.
Pressure there from Rodriguez and Sinisterra. You can see Rodriguez trying to have his team move up a little bit more. And now the switchbacks have some space to stretch their legs out with McGee. Hanya with Rocha on the overlap, but they were not on the same page.
Hanya with a rare misplay. Just overcooking the pass forwards, but this right-hand side has been where the switchbacks have seen a lot of their success over the first 20 minutes or so of play. You're seeing Hanya getting lots of touches on and then building up with Rocha, trying to connect, trying to find, and if they're able to get on the same page and combine on this right-hand side, the result could be deadly.
13 goals for Colorado Rapids 2 last season in MLS Next Pro. This season, he's had 5 in the USL Championship, and they've all been excellently taken.
I think it's a credit to Hanya and his ability to adjust, because it's not to disrespect.
If you're seeing anything on your end, my phone's at 16% and it has not been behaving with charging, so that's why.
The change in the pace, in the change of the speed of the game, in the change of the physicality, and in the change of the demands in terms of the fan base, because a lot of pressure comes with putting on that switchback jersey.
Enriquez tries to follow up. It falls kindly for Hackshaw, who has Riley at his back. So we can tell you that Detroit City have equalized against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. 1-1 in Hamtramck. Sure, there was some smoke involved in the celebrations there. Work for the Rowdies to do.
Ooh!
Johnny Rodriguez gets on the
that could have been something.
Keeps it in play with Mahoney in front of him. Rodriguez will clip this into the penalty area. It's out for a corner on the far side.
All right, so we're going to get a corner.
It's a McDivitt Law Firm corner. We're in your corner.
Wonderful work from Rodriguez, and this is where he's such an exciting player because he's given the free reins. He's allowed to pop up anywhere he wants on the field, and this time use the cross into the player to earn a set piece. And set pieces are going to be very important for Oakland tonight because, as we mentioned, they may not get too many opportunities in the run of play, so the service has to invite an opportunity in front of goal.
All right.
Oakland come up with here. It's fizzed in there, looking for Cam Riley. Switchbacks get the head onto it, and Enriquez.
Let's keep it in.
Really important header away by Mahoney at that front
Nice.
post area.
And Damas tried to get away with the ball for the Switchbacks. They'll settle for a throw in deep in their own end.
It probably wasn't the service that Oakland were looking for. You've got to beat that first man. Yes, good position.
That was a good keep in, but we didn't get to put any pressure on.
And pick an area that there isn't a defender covering the post.
It's a playoff game. There's going to be some wars inside the penalty areas tonight, that's for sure.
And everything just means more. It does, and expect there to be tensions. And so far, I think the referee's done a good job of controlling the game, keeping it calm. It's been very fair and played well from both sides.
Certainly feels like the
Already
playoffs.
an upset on this end of the bracket. The USL Championship playoffs with Orange County, at least a seed upset, going to Memphis and winning in extra time.
Yes. Good block. Good defense.
That scoreline, a heartbreak for Memphis, who played with 10 players for an extended period. To be so resilient, and then with moments to go before you force a penalty shootout, to have your heart broken, tough call for Memphis.
Of course, couple of playoff games tomorrow. Indy and Rhode Island, and then New Mexico hosting Phoenix on CBS Sports Network to wrap up the first playoff weekend in the USL Championship. It's just going to be mouth-watering matchup after matchup through Sunday night.
Bracket didn't disappoint one bit, and
Yeah.
who knows what's going to happen here? It's an even one, and as we've talked about, the underdog mentality of Oakland has done itself well in the past.
Nice layoff there, looking for Zach Sandy.
And some good defense. Come on, let's get out. Finally, let's get out of here. Out of our own zone. Let's put some pressure on them.
Two there. Referee allows play to continue.
Hear the fans what they think of it.
Gomez helps along for the Roots. Gagi up ahead.
Got it at center field.
Riley. Up ahead. Could fall kindly here for Oakland on the far side. First time ball in by Diaz.
Oh, and their goalie made a save. That was a good play, though. We put some pressure on, you know. Put pressure on like that. We're going to score if we keep doing that.
Not the height or the weight of the pass that was required in that moment.
If you don't shoot the ball, if you don't kick the ball at the goal, you're not going to score.
Is able to keep it alive for the Switchbacks, albeit in a reset for Lacroix. Mahoney. Hanya. Oakland Roots defensively this season have been, much like their results at times, up and down. They actually come in with the worst goal differential of any playoff team this season. It's the second worst mark in the whole league. Advantage is played here for Hanya.
All right, we need some defense here. Okay, good save, Blanchette. But we need some defense.
Hanya with that tight ball control. Watch his little duke to create some space, and in the end, it just lost.
Yeah, that's a good save.
Velocity on its way.
Paul
but
Blanchette,
amazing
Paul the Wall.
first little cut to create the space to earn the shot.
It's a good save.
There's going to be an injury stoppage here. It's presented by Common Spirit Health. Tyreek McGee needs a moment here for the Switchbacks. He's had such an excellent season at times for Colorado Springs.
I know, you never want to see anyone get hurt.
The Jamaican men's national team, which is tough doing these days. So many players for that national team in particular. Tough to break in there, but he has.
It's just a really tough thing to see for Magee, though, and hopefully he'll be okay, because a player that you don't want to see down on the ground this early on into such a key game.
3 goals this season for Tyreke Magee, and we highlighted earlier the ebbs and the flows of a USL Championship season. These two teams have really kind of epitomized that, and Gavin Glinton, of course, who didn't start the season as the head coach. I think that enough talks about the differences in a season. Noah Delgado was let go back in April, and we briefly talked about this earlier, but it's been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde
All right,
story.
devices
Notable
do
wins
seem
are
to be
impressive.
behaving right now.
When they were at their peak earlier in the season, they still might be, of course. New Mexico, that big win in Vegas that basically clinched a playoff spot. They beat Sac Republic. They've had multiple 5-0 defeats and a couple of games where they had man advantage and didn't get any points as well.
But I think what stands out to me is that you shut out Louisville, you shut out New Mexico, but then you concede 5 against Birmingham, who have nothing to play for on decision day. It's just up, it's down. You don't know which side you're going to get. In the playoffs, you have to be consistent. There's no escape if you're not consistent. If you
The announcers are not wrong about that. We need consistency, like losing to Birmingham and Pittsburgh. Like that hurt.
The history for Oakland in the USL Championship playoffs would tell you they do find a way to do that in this particular fixture, in this particular seeding matchup. We'll see if history repeats itself again tonight.
All right. Here we go. Some pressure by the goal.
Live action, it's a chance.
Here we go.
Sinisterra, he threads the needle. Rasmussen looking for
Here we go.
space here.
Here we go. Let's do this. Over the goal. That would have been cool.
Take a ricochet off a switchbacks player in the opinion of the referee. We may look back on that. Here's the replay.
It's a beautiful ball into Rasmussen, and his first.
That was some good pressure. Like, we need to keep doing this.
360. Looked like it might have got a touch off of the dangling leg of the defender, which would explain the way that it fell. I think Rasmussen is rightly frustrated that he didn't earn a corner kick in that moment.
There's going to be times where Oakland are going to have few and far between.
Let's go, Oakland.
They did not get
Let's go, Oakland. Let's go, Oakland. Let's go, Oakland.
They've got to get a little tighter to a player like Rasmussen.
Switch of play for Oakland onto the near side. It's just going to bounce out of play. Najai appreciates the effort.
Being an innocent Oakland fan that isn't thinking about, John Fisher right now. Like, I mean, it feels good to have an Oakland, that I'm cheering for an Oakland team and I'm not just constantly chanting "sell the team." And the Roots actually did, because they have community investment as their ownership group. So the community votes on anything that happens with the Roots for the most part. So that's good.
Well, he's back to his best, and he's a cornerstone piece. And James Chambers has also echoed this all season. He's one of the most underrated players in the league. Doesn't get the love that James Chambers and the rest of the Switchbacks organization feel that he deserves around the league.
And it can be so hard bouncing back after a serious injury. It's not just the physical side, it's the mental side. But it feels like he's been able to overcome that now and is finding that confidence. In the same vein, sometimes you don't mind when your players slide under the radar and they don't get as much appreciation. It's good in multiple ways, whether it's about the way the opponent sets up against you, or the fact that you can hold on to an underrated player for longer to build that chemistry with your side.
Zach Sandy's been on some really good Switchbacks teams here over the years. He has 8 goal contributions.
Oh, here we go.
This season for James Chambers.
Let's make something out of this.
Sinisterra plays it across. It is going to go out of play. It's a goal kick for Colorado Springs. And as it goes out of play, we've been given another playoff update. Ben Pierman's Charleston Battery.
I thought that was a goal for a second. Like, that would have been awesome.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds. You talk about a USL Championship chess match of 2 incredible minds of the game. But the Battery, who made it to the final last season, are back in an Eastern Conference semifinal this season. as the first shoe to drop on the Eastern Conference side of the bracket. Great season for Pittsburgh. They really had to recover to get in. Unfortunately for them, after a hard-fought battle, their season ends in the Low Country tonight. Everyone talking about how great and historic that Louisville season has been. The Battery are right there.
We've made their goalie work.
Just another storyline among many.
Let's get it so that we can put one past him.
Games never get easier. You get through one hurdle and then you never know what's awaiting at you. And I think that's what makes these playoffs so exciting, because the games are so competitive and the quality is so consistent.
0-0, 2/3 of the way through the first half. Like, this feels like a playoff game.
McGee slows it down here for Matt Mahoney. Still looking for the first big moment in our Western Conference quarterfinal. Mahoney. McGee lets one fly. Well, we know he can strike them. He's scored some long-distance beauties in the league this season. That one flies over the top of Blanchett's goal.
And I have a feeling he's doing just fine after that little injury break. That's encouraging.
You know, we can't rely on them constantly kicking it over the net like that.
Spectacular from that distance, but the encouraging sign is the confidence and the recovery from what looked like a pretty gnarly injury at the start.
McGee right back to work.
All right, good takeaway.
By Camden Riley,
yes.
Anticipated for the Roots. And Memo Diaz
Let's make something out of this.
Up ahead.
Let's get some pressure.
Memo Diaz could be an X factor for Oakland tonight. 7 assists through the first months of the season to the end of August, but hasn't gotten an assist since. That's the one caveat there. But he's one of the best as far as chances created in the USL Championship this season. 9th in the league.
So much about chances created is also about who's on the end of them. And when your team isn't necessarily being clinical in a lot of games, then even if you're creating good chances, high XG opportunities, getting balls in dangerous areas,
yes,
it's not being finished, it's not going to happen.
Good, but they took it away anyway.
Overcommitted a bit here, and Ronaldo Damas gets in behind here for Colorado Springs.
Oh no.
He lays it off for
Oh no.
Hanya.
Yeah, good defense.
Big touch onto that.
Some good defense. I was worried because they had a near breakaway.
For Colorado Springs to work here. It's a T-Row Price corner. Invest with confidence.
So Najai, just no nonsense, said, let's just get rid of it. We'll defend the corner. Don't want to take any more risks there. But Hanya, with some dangerous player, took a very important toe poke away to thwart him getting his shot off.
Rocha to set this up. About 10 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. Abdou Njai just having a word with, I think it was Matt Mahoney inside the penalty area. Rocha's ball in. Is headed down and Blanchett saves off the
Good. Good save, Blanchett. Call the wall.
To tell who actually got the touch. But how big was that from Blanchett? My goodness.
What a delivery from Rocha. I think he ended up coming off.
Yeah, that was a great save by Paul Blanchett.
From Blanchett. We talk about big-time goalkeepers, consistent goalkeepers.
That's why he's our starter.
Work across the goal to be positioned correctly and stand strong.
Hackshaw clearly didn't know much about it. Blanchett saves the day, for now at least, for the Roots.
Good save by Blanchett.
Rocha will take the Pepsi corner. That's what I like. A second bite at the cherry here for Colorado Springs after a near moment.
Yeah, like that. Like, that's a playoff moment. That's a moment that.
Who is holding on to his left boot at the end of a huge sequence.
Oh no, is Blanchett hurt?
in the commotion on the goal mouth, whether there's something off the ball that takes place. We'll get another leak from
He
this
just made
angle.
such a good save.
So
I
as
sure hope
goalkeeper,
he's
coming as a
not
forward
hurt.
goalkeeper in these moments, sometimes you see these things happen, and it is a coming together. I think he'll be okay.
Memo Diaz backed into him, and then it was Jairo Enriquez who, well, he made contact, that's for sure. Blanchet's fine. He's back ready to defend this corner,
All right.
although Abdou Njai is still trying to make sure things don't bubble over here inside the 6-yard box.
How often do you see it when a referee talks so much to players in the box, though, immediately calling a foul?
Still waiting on take 2 from the corner for the switchbacks. In by Rocha to the near post. And it goes back out of play. It's going to go Oakland's way in the end. Looks like it's going to be a goal kick. Of course, in the aftermath of both Hurricanes Helene and Milton, the USL has partnered with United Way Suncoast to help the Tampa Bay area recover from devastation the storm left behind. To learn how you can get more involved, scan the QR code or visit www.uslsoccer.com.
So it seems like we made it out of that scare. We've got a goal kick.
Individuals and families have access to the
Now
resources
we've
they need to recover.
got it in the offensive zone.
That nearly fell
But-
kindly, meanwhile, for Johnny Rodriguez. Gagi
Now we've
tries
got
to
it
fend off
contested.
Damas, but Damas gives possession right back to
We
him.
have it, but it's in the
That was his
defensive
presence.
zone.
You can
Let's.
just tell how he unnerves the back line and how you know you're going to have to take some risks.
There we go.
To make sure he can't
Yes. Yes, come on.
Jonathan's past Enriquez, who then catches up to him.
There we go.
Near side Rasmussen, right back to Najai, who plays it across here, and it's
Oh.
cleared away by Mahoney, just ahead
That
of
was
Rodriguez.
some good playing.
And Riley falling down on the ground, Hackshaw holding off Damas. It goes back to
All right.
Blanchet.
Welcome to playoffs. I mean, it's always going to be chaotic sequences.
Playoffs are always fun.
That big Blanchett reaction save off the Hackshaw ricochet has been the biggest plot moment to this point.
And with the forward line that Colorado Springs boasts, I don't think you would ever imagine that the biggest opportunity would come off the potential own goal chance.
Hackshaw mulls over the situation and clips it up ahead, but Rasmussen may have left a little bit on the back end here. Might have collided, I think it was with Rocha, who's still on the ground, and the decision goes the way of Colorado Springs in the end.
It's a tough one for Rasmussen. He's a bigger guy. Sometimes that physicality comes into play, but he has to be smart.
Here's Mahoney. Switching the point of attack. And it's chested down by Hanya, who switched sides and finds Real. Here's Speedy Williams.
That's clear tactical. Wants to try and break down a different defender. It's felt like the defensive hand have been pretty well on that right-hand side. Do something different. Test the left.
Ooh, that nearly slipped through for Damas. Gagi, good reactions there from Oakland to clear it. And again, the switchbacks will settle for a throw-in on the far side. I'll check out all the exciting postseason action in November. The 2024 USL Championship Playoffs presented by Terminex showcase the top teams battling it out. The ultimate prize. Go to uslchampionship.com.
It's good that I can at least get it for free with a VPN. Like, I mean, I wish I would have known that earlier. That.
Here's Jairo Enriquez for Colorado Springs.
Alrighty, no.
Great layup by Damas. And then a chance for Zandy.
No.
And then Enriquez.
Oh.
A touch of fortune for the switchbacks.
We held them off pretty long, but
Provides liftoff at Widener Field for Colorado Springs. With 5 minutes left in the half, they take the lead.
it was inevitable. Gotta fight back from it.
Enrique starts his entire phase of play, tenacious, battling,
Just gotta fight back. We might have not scored first, but
into the back of the net. The way he strikes his
you know,
so
We've got a lot of football left to
It's always
play.
behind the back of the net. You can see the appeals from Oakland Roots. They feel like it should have been offside, but in the end, it just falls into the path. And Enriquez with a great finish.
Just 2 goals in the regular season for Jairo Enriquez. He scores a priceless playoff goal presented by Centuries Casinos, your hometown casino. Welcome to the winner's zone. That's the first big moment of the night.
It's absolutely massive. But what I love about
Alrighty.
it is he starts the play. He gets it
Let's
all
set the
in,
tone. Let's tie the
with
game
that
before
confidence
halftime.
going forward, and then
Got
he
3.5
really
minutes.
going in and around the 18-yard box. Was it fortunate that a deflection found him? Absolutely. But sometimes when you're playing well, when you're feeding off the emotion of your crowds, things start to go your way.
Hanya. That's going to be a switchback's throw on the far side. Well, we've seen Colorado Springs have to work very hard at home for results at times this season, but when they score the first goal, that could spell very, very bad things for the opposition. You look there at the record when Colorado Springs scores first this season. They've only dropped points 9 times. They've won 14 of them. And Oakland, on the other side of things in this road playoff game, not very good. You can look at the numbers there. When conceding first, those are just numbers. It's a playoff game, of course. You tend to leave those off to the side. But Colorado Springs, when they score first here in particular, tend to do well.
But for Oakland, it's about making sure you stay compact for the next 5 minutes. You cannot afford to make this even worse. You can't afford to concede a second.
All right.
Nice
Yeah, we
run
can't
up
afford
ahead
to
find
concede a
Vaca
second, but
by Sinistera, and it's played up ahead for Rasmussen, who's going to keep this in for Oakland.
ideally,
And the Roots find a riposte here.
got some zone pressure.
Jai,
See,
Gomez,
can we
Riley resets
Sneak
for
it-
Hackshaw.
sneak one in.
2 minutes left in the half.
But this is a good way to rebuild your confidence for Oakland right now. Just keeping the ball, moving it around, trying to find an end product.
The Jai in there. Oh, Herrera spilled it, but recovered it. Just
that
in
was
time.
really close.
Bit of a shaky moment for Herrera there, dropping it down in front of
We
the
almost got
rushing
one.
forward. If anyone had gambled a little quicker, they might have made for a messier end to that phase of play.
We talked about it earlier. Herrera hasn't missed a league minute this season, though he has had a couple of nervy moments, and, well, case and point there.
It's so hard as a goalkeeper when you don't touch the ball for very much. He hasn't touched the ball in his hands, had a save to make, and then all of a sudden you see this ball dipping in the crowd. Goalkeeping is so much about focus and being able to be called upon in the big moments, even when you don't see much of the ball. And I have to think that might be Herrera's night. He's not going to have consistent saves, he's not going to have consistent involvement, but when he is called upon, he has to make sure he's sharper than what was just displayed.
Another goal update for you. Looks like Louisville have scored again. They were actually trailing against North Carolina earlier. They now have a 3-1 lead as we approach the hour
The
mark.
switchbacks
Our Danny
have
Cruz's side
possession.
just going to be inevitable this season in the USL Championship playoffs. They're now in complete command at Lynn Family Stadium tonight.
Feels like North Carolina.
The switchbacks just wanted to get to halftime.
Sometimes you got to rock the boat, and I think they got hurt.
It's been a historic season for Danny Cruz's side. They're right up there with some of the best teams this
Come
league
on,
has
just
seen.
take it from them.
It's only a matter of time. See if we'll see them pay it off at the end of this playoff run. As Rocha, did he overcommit there with his challenge? Referee did blow the whistle. Jai stays down. Referee does give Rocha talking to here. It does appear that Oakland have gotten the decision.
I think it's the right call from the referee. You saw Najai was just trying to shield the ball out of play. Rocha.
All right, we've got
eager to
4
get
minutes
involved, ends up catching
before
it with
halftime as a
heels.
bonus.
4 minutes
For
of stoppage time is presented by the
stoppage
Tip Top
time.
Shop. It is an Oakland free kick, and Najai is still down. It's an injury stoppage brought to you by Common Spirit Health.
And Najai is just gripping at the back of his ankles. We're going to take a peek at where this contact came from. It's a long ball forward, and Najai reads this well off the heavy touch. He gets his positioning perfectly around Rocha. He's using his body, looking to shield it out of play, and Rocha just comes in from behind and swipes at the ankles. It's a foul from Rocha.
looks like it was just a talking to from Abdu Anjay. That's been the theme from him in the first half.
And I think that's important from a referee, because the last thing you want in a playoff game is to become the statement as the referee. You don't want to be the main talking point. You want the stars on the field to shine. And the other thing is, you don't want to have to put yourself in a scenario with a weak yellow
Come on.
card, then put you in an
Here we go.
uncomfortable situation with a second yellow down the line somewhere like we saw in the Memphis game.
Rare touch there earlier from Johnny Rodriguez. Didn't quite get anything to work from it there. Hanya follows up. And then it's cleared away by Hackshaw. Rodriguez helps that along for Rasmussen. This is Baca.
All right. Let's do something with this.
Oh, and the whistle ended up going there. Looks like the offside flag may have gone up there against Rasmussen. So the attack fizzles out for the Roots.
And Rasmussen just has to do a better job of getting on an onside position there. You've got to be able to check your shoulders. There's no excuse for coming back to an offside position when you've got that much time.
Offside.
That's going to be something we're talking
Offsides,
about,
of
because it's
course.
moments like that. You have a possession, you have a potential opportunity to break forward, and then you force the ball back into Colorado Springs' possession.
Final 2 minutes of the half. The goal from Jairo Enriquez has Colorado Springs ahead in this Western Conference quarterfinal. McGee switches the point of the attack out to the far side. Yosuke Hanya clipping it towards Ronaldo Damas, and it's caught cleanly by Blanchett.
Come on, let's...
Blanchett tried to release it early. It actually does squirm its way through to Rodriguez. Fortunate break there for the Roots. Rasmussen finds Rodriguez somehow, and the attack continues.
Let's do something
but it's
with
effective
this.
right now for Oakland.
Still time for the Roots to land a late first half blow here. Pass there to thread the needle for Baca. This is Riley. And Riley's ball into the middle is close to Rodriguez. Headed away. Sinistera looked like he was queuing up for an overhead kick. It's cleared away to Hackshaw. Hackshaw recovers it and clips it back into the middle looking for Diaz. And Memo Diaz skies it out of play.
But what an encouraging phase of play that was for Oakland.
Come on.
Really encouraging phase
Let's
of
get
play.
one before the end of the half.
The box you mentioned, Sinistera was setting up. You saw him on his heels getting ready to try and swing over the bicycle kick. I think he realized that it wasn't going to quite settle for him. If you're Oakland Roots right now, as much as you're disappointed that you've conceded a goal, particularly in the awkward manner that the goal was scored in, you're encouraged by the fact it's still only 1-0 and you are getting final third entries.
About to get to the end of the minimum of 4 added minutes at the end of the half. Herrera clips it upfield. It's up to the referee now how much longer the half continues. Mahoney gets the header. Williams helping it along. And that's the end of the first half here at Widener Field. It'll take a little while for both
All right.
teams to feel each other out, but
So,
the
the Roots are down
switch
1-0.
back way in the first half.
It's nothing we can't come back from, but, like, I mean, we've had struggles when not scoring first, so... So, you know, we've got work to do. It's not something that we can't come back from, though.
Western Conference semifinals goes to the winner. Good start for Colorado Springs. They got the goal, they have the lead, but there's still a gigantic 45 minutes still to come. Oakland hanging in there, but they have to try to recover it in the second half. We'll look back at some of the other playoff action from around the USL Championship playoffs when we come back at the half.
Injured in a crash? Get McDivitt, and you get a firm dedicated to every single detail of your case.
All right. So, like, I mean, I do want to see who all is here, because I see we've got 3 people who are here. So, if anyone has anything they want to talk about, it doesn't have to be the game. Like, I mean, this is supposed to be a, hey, let's hang out and watch the game sort of thing. So, So, like, is anyone having anything they'd like to talk about? It could be coasters related, it could be anything related, really. It doesn't have to be related to the game. It's just I happen to be watching the game right now because, well, I'm an Oakland fan, so I've got to support my team. It appears to be a Colorado Springs broadcast that USL is using, but you know, that's okay. And I mean, I certainly don't feel like this is gonna, like, this is like the game last week where we showed that we did not, when we were showing, oh, this is, when we were acting like, oh, this is not a playoff team, losing 5-0 to a team that had already been eliminated. Like, I mean, I know that we had a lot of not of players that weren't our starters in though, so hopefully this week, since we've got our starters in,
Switchbacks leading Oakland in this Western Conference semifinal. Jairo Enriquez goal to nil. We'll get to the second half in just a few moments. When we get to some recaps of the playoffs, tonight's healthcare professional of the match, Dr. Eakin and Dr. Dubois. Congratulations to all of you do for our community. The healthcare professional of the match is presented by Olsen Plumbing and Heating. Sean St. John gets the Charmin here with you. Lots of great action to get back onto. The USL Championship playoffs. A first ever playoff appearance for Las Vegas Lights. About 7 years in the making. It went to a penalty kick shootout against Saffron Putnam, who of course have been known for big playoff moments. It was a trade back and forth, save after save, really, to start this shootout. It didn't feel like anybody was going to score in the first few rounds. The Lights prevailed and made history after Valentine.
I really want to play the Lights just because they're from Las Vegas, and like, I mean, I really liked when we made the playoffs off of winning a game against the Lights. So, like, I mean, it would be cool to, after everything that's gone on with the A's, it would be really cool to, you know, to beat a Las Vegas team. Like, that would just be so cool to be able to do that. And it would also be cool if we played Orange County, because then I could be at that game, because, like, I mean, I live in Orange County. But, like, yeah, I could go to a game if it ended up being Oakland versus Orange County. And I would be cheering on my Roots. But that's very much something that I could do, just thinking about it logistically. All right. I've got the phone charging. Hopefully it stays that way. I'm gonna have to use some vinegar on this charging port, just because it's something I have to do from time to time. Because ooh, and Orange County would be the home team, so I'd probably go to that game and just be like, hey, if any Oakland fans are gonna be there, I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna be at the. I'm gonna be there to cheer on my Roots. I'm hoping we get through because like it would be really cool to watch my Roots in person, because like I mean it was sort of near the end of the A's season that I started getting into the Roots when they announced that they were going to be playing at the Coliseum next season. So I mean like I mean since I was in the Bay Area this summer, and like I mean I ended up sticking with that fan base that I had met with the A's, and now I'm with the Roots. So I'm hoping that I think it would be really cool to get to meet up with some of those people again. Perhaps be at a game. So like I mean like I really want to win this game so that we can go cheer on our Roots at Orange County. And I would make sure Well, I mean, it would be on a Saturday, so like, I mean, I don't see a reason why I wouldn't be able to get that with work to make it easy to do.
Sean, just back here with you. We've jumped into the Broadmoor Cryotherapy first half highlights in this Western Conference quarterfinal. We begin with Colorado Springs on the front foot.
That was a great attempt in the end, but it deflected away, so it didn't need to test the goalkeeper. But how do you do a dangerous play to get on the ball?
Then we jump ahead, corner here. They've had an awkward twist at the end.
It could have been a lone goal onto the back of the head, but in the end, it's really the good goalkeeper. A huge save reacted.
It was one of the big moments of the game until 5 minutes later, Jairo Enriquez broke the deadlock.
And I love that as well, so we can start it all with a really good read, a good distance test, a little give and go here. It's very nice and neat. Is it an all good deflection? Yes, but Enriquez is the quickest to respond to the loose ball, and that's why he gets the goal.
His third goal of the season, and of course his first of the playoffs, and has Colorado Springs for now ahead in this Western Conference quarterfinal. Broadmoor Cryotherapy halftime stats look like this in a simple situation here for Oakland, as they just have to create more in the final third. Not much.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
And that leaves us moments away from the start of the second half. A date with Orange County goes to the winner in a Western Conference semifinal next week. And so far, Jairo Enriquez is the man of the playoff hour for Colorado Springs. The Roots will need a recovery in the second half if
All right.
they are going to pull through in this 2-7 matchup. And well, Jess, we were talking off camera about possible adjustments for either side.
Come on, Roots.
I think for the Switchbacks, they've got to be more patient in the build-up. At times, they're rushing a little bit. At times, they have more
We can
time
do
than they
this.
think. On the flip side, for Open Roots, they've got to diversify the attack. It's been very, very one-dimensional moments. They've looked for that long, direct ball forward, play through the lines a little bit more, have more composure.
We will see how it all unfolds in the second 45. Oakland will kick us off to start the second half at Widener Field. They'll go from left to right, and we will see how this all unfolds in Colorado Springs. 1-0 to the good for the Switchbacks. Can Oakland fight back to keep their season afloat? Oakland with just one ever win over Colorado Springs in their history. It was actually last season, June 2nd, to be exact. And the goal scorer, you may have already guessed, was Johnny Rodriguez here at Widener Field. They might need a little bit of a dose of that if they're going to come back here. And Oakland will have a Pepsi corner to work with here. That's what I like.
And these are key moments. These are really key moments for Oakland Roots. We haven't seen good enough service into the box from dead balls. We've talked so much about the fact they're not going to get too many chances from the run of play, which is what...
Really? Really? Still connected to the Wi-Fi. It still says it should be live. I'm gonna try reopening it, see what it does. It's just that it's on 5G, I'm sure. Because I use what I can get for free. Like, why couldn't this have happened during halftime? That the internet would cut out? That's why. It's because the VPN disconnected. Are you kidding me right now? Alrighty. Let's try that. I think it selected a US server. What country is it available in? Because I just tried Germany. Okay, let's try. Let's try the UK. It's gotta be available there. You know, I really love battling with technology when I'm supposed to be. There's an ad. Let's see. Hold your breath.
Limited, if any, sort
And
of
there it
contact.
is.
The second angle that we have the privilege to see up here.
And
It's
now
a
one of our
very
players
clear
is hurt.
swinging of the elbow. And I think this is
This-
what Hackshaw is petitioning right now.
this
It's
is
a
rough.
swinging of the elbow, and any sort of momentum of the deliberate swinging of the elbow to a head warrants violent conduct.
And I think that's exactly what Gavin Glinton is talking about right now with the fourth official on the near side. The McGee yellow is confirmed. The Gagi yellow, we're assuming, is about to be presented. He's been on the floor, and the referee has had it out for quite some time. And Gavin Glinton, who's really had some bright moments this season, helping Oakland deal with the early struggles. Noah Delgado was let go. Glinton promoted. Was the coach of the month during the summer in June, and well, he's clearly upset with how the referee interpreted that. And in the end, it's just going to be a yellow card, at least for McGee. We'll wait on the Gagi one. That's still unfolding here. And it was also an injury stoppage brought to you by Common Spirit Health.
I think McGee knows that he's got a little lucky there.
We need time.
It's clear he's frustrated. Is he being
Be able to
fouled?
score.
Absolutely. Is he being pulled back cynically? Absolutely. But you've got to have a cooler head than that. Your team is winning. You have momentum. You're in the front position. The last thing you need to do is have a wild swing. And for Oakland Roots, I can completely understand why there would be an element of frustration now, having seen that second replay where you see the swinging of the elbow in the direction of the head.
Well, now we've been told that Gagi was not booked for that sequence. Also a peculiar outcome because he clearly pulled McGee back. It's a clear yellow card offense.
And he pulled him around the neck area as well. So
Great point.
did we call it a USL after dark?
We have now, if we didn't already. Another peculiar playoff moment.
You just have
Oakland
to
will get
think.
the throw.
It's a moment that Oakland Roots are going to circle, though.
Yeah.
If things don't go to plan, if they're not able to fight back, that is a pivotal moment that has gone against them.
From the throw, was headed down, a diving header away. The volley is blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Rodriguez keeps it alive for Gomez. Enriquez
All right.
tries to spin out of trouble. He doesn't get it out. And the ball back into the middle is too tall for Riley.
I don't know what Enrique's doing there, though. Taking that sort of risk inside this area of the field. We'll get another look at that phase of play. That strike is blocked away, but it's this move in a second. This here. How are you trying to Maradona turn at the edge of your box? Couldn't be me.
It presented Oakland with a second opportunity, to your point. One that they couldn't quite take advantage of.
Come on, let's get it.
This goes for all sports, but odd moments like that, they can change the trajectory of playoff games. And it's still very much up for grabs, just the slim goal advantage for the Switchbacks to work with. Remember, the last time Colorado Springs was here in the regular season, they had a late 1-0 lead. They let it slip against San Antonio. Here's Hanya. Hanya's with the shot, and Hanya spreads it well wide of the target. That gives us time to tell you to watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN. Nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches, including the championship final, will be available in Spanish. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. That was another game that just had so many peculiar moments. San Antonio almost had to bring on a backup goalkeeper as a outfield player in that game. And Alan Marcina, of course, has now been unfortunately let go by San Antonio. Picked up an incredible 2-1 win here that kept SAFC alive going into the final 2 weeks. But as we now know, the Switchbacks recovered well. San Antonio, not so much. Now Matt Real brought down on the near side.
In the first half, we discussed how it was a fairly calm, composed game, that the referee had controlled it well, but you can see the tension heating up, and that's always going to be the manner of a second half in a playoff game, because as you start to see the clock dwindling, you get more frustrated, the moments mean more, there's more pressure, and I feel like this one, the tensions are starting to ebb really high.
All right.
Riley didn't quite deal with that for Oakland, and it's bent into the middle. Thomas fighting
Oh,
through.
no.
Was he brought down? Oh, the referees brought this back, and it's going to be a penalty for Colorado Springs. Thomas brought down as the ball came into the area. The referee gives Colorado Springs a spot kick.
From that angle, we can't really see too much here. As we get another look, it's mutual contact in a lot of ways. There is an arm around Damas, but it feels like he also has an arm around it. Gut instinct for me is this is mutual contact, but the referee's decision is...
All right. Big moment.
Ronaldo Damas scored 12 goals in the regular season. 6 of them came from the penalty spot. Looks like a yellow card. May have come
Come
out
on,
as well. We'll
Paul.
get more details on that in a moment. Ronaldo Damas has just been one of those players who comes through in big moments like this in the playoffs. And he comes through again.
Oh, jeez. Now we're down 2-0.
Thomas makes no mistake from the penalty spot, and he doubles the Switchbacks lead.
You know, is it the fact that I'm watching? Because the Roots have never scored a goal when I'm watching.
Under all this pressure, it's calm as can be. A composed Slot opens his hips and says, "Thank you very much." Goalkeeper gets close, but has enough power on it. But for Damas, who has shown up time and time again, whenever the moment is bright, to draw the penalty and then to finish the penalty is spectacular. But you have to feel
Feels like we're gonna
little
lose
sorry for
now.
Oakland Roots right now.
Switchbacks goal is presented by Centuries Casinos, your hometown casino. Welcome to the winners. their zone. The yellow card was given to Gagi for Oakland for committing the penalty. And Colorado Springs have a 2-0 advantage. We're also told that Oakland's bench was booked as well. It's a Diversis Health yellow card on both accounts. Remember to take a moment to breathe. Mental health and well-being for all.
I wonder if Gavin Glinton agreed with my take on the penalty, that it felt like there was a little bit going both ways. You've seen them given, but once you see the mutual contact coming into play, it feels quite harsh, particularly after the last big decision that went the opposite way against the Roots.
I might add that the other part of this, I know it's not always the number one thing on the list. I'm not sure Damas would get anywhere near that ball either. It really wasn't that close to him.
It looked like the ball was sailing out of play. So,
All right, we still got time to.
if he hadn't blown the whistle,
tie the
I don't
game,
think
but-
there would have been much of an appeal for Colorado Springs. And when you feel that way, perhaps a decision that big isn't necessary in a game that means so much.
Again, remember, officials have that snapshot. It's very quick for them to have to react. You have to Njai some credit here. But Oakland now are 2-0 down, and they're going to get a corner after a skewed clearance by the normally solidified Matt Mahoney.
And that's such an important point, because we have the privilege of replays, different angles, opportunities to break it down, to think and process it. This is very real time.
Pepsi corner, that's what I like. Gives the Roots an opportunity here to try to get back into this game. Now 2-0 down as we approach the hour mark here
Really?
in Colorado Springs. Memo Diaz to take, and as he's done all night, Abdou Njai not taking any of this kind of business inside the penalty area. Zach Zandy had to be helped up. It's getting more and more testy. Maybe some sarcasm from Hackshaw. Can Oakland pull one back?
We better.
Diaz into the middle. Herrera didn't quite get that right. He thought he was fouled. And Colorado Springs again, a little bit let off the hook, I should say. And look at this, speed racer down this near side. It's Lacroix looking to bring the switchbacks up the other end, but he can't find McGee. It's a goal kick.
What a drive forward that is for Lacroix. The turn of pace, leaving everybody in his dust. Just didn't have the end product with the little poke through to
Got
find
30
a
minutes to
teammate.
get 2.
Gagi just getting that up ahead. Should mention as well, there were no halftime changes for either side. Gavin Glinton might be forced into a couple in the next 10 to 15 minutes. He has the likes of Trayvon Reed and Irakosi Donaciano and others available. Dom Dwyer on the bench as well. If they need some attacking firepower, and they very well need it, as the Widener Field crowd sensing that they're half an hour away from advancing.
You have to try something different if you're Oakland Roots. You have to give your subs enough time. There's nothing worse for a substitute than only giving them 5-10 minutes, expecting them to make an impact. They need time to grow in the game. They need time to connect with the players behind them. And at some point, you've got to throw everything at it, because even if you concede more, the destiny is set.
Clean challenge from Diaz on Damas, who continues to roll over in pain here. Referee the whole way said it was on the ball. Now he'll stop the play for a potential injury stoppage.
Get another look at this tackle, and it's through the man, but there's clear contact on the ball.
Injury stoppage brought to you by Common Spirit Health. Not a player that Colorado Springs, of course, want to have in this position. Aldo Damas has come up with another big playoff moment. No surprises there. Oakland, of course, will feel hard done by.
And that takes time off the clock.
One thing they can do, and we're told likely will do about it, is make a couple of substitutions. Those are being prepared by Gavin Glinton as we speak. And as Ronaldo
about
Damas
time.
continues to be operated on by the Colorado Springs staff. I think Oakland are still not happy about some of the sequences here, and they're giving Abdu Njai an earful.
But this is where you just have to try and take the higher ground because referees are human, and if you're dissenting, if you're criticizing, it sits in the back of a referee's mind. Do I think that Oakland have had a couple of decisions go against them that have been a little on the fence? Probably. But you have to be able to respond to that adversity differently.
The two changes are Irakosi Donaciano and Trayvon Reed coming on for Justin Rasmussen and Rafael Baca. Substitutions are brought to you by the William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblecenter.org. Those are the first two changes either side has made tonight.
It's just about bringing different attacking options, changing the way that you play, maybe a bit more tempo. Obviously, Reed has 2 goals in his 31 appearances, so has finished opportunities, but unfortunately not a necessarily prolific goal scorer this year in USL.
Two goals, to your point, for Trayvon Reed. So far this season, no goals for Irakosi Donaciano. He does have 2 assists. To be fair, that's the number that Oakland needs to get back into this game.
That'd be a good time to open your account for the season, even if you haven't scored one in regulation.
Enriquez bundled over by Riley, and Cam Riley is going to receive a yellow card for that interaction.
Honestly, though, I like to see this reaction.
We need
from
to score
Riley, because he
goals.
actually
We
cares,
don't
wants
need to
check on
be.
the player. It is a really awkward one. I think he knees him in the face. The height difference doesn't help, and I think it's a malicious, deliberate attempt to kick at his head. But at the end of the day, you strike the opponent in the head, and it's a yellow card.
Another Diversus Health yellow card. Mental health and well-being for all. Remember to take a moment to breathe. Another player, Enriquez, now helped back up onto his feet after taking a shot there. He scored the first goal for Colorado Springs at the end of the first half, and then obviously the Damas penalty with a little bit of controversy around it as the Switchbacks 2-0 up and potentially closing in on a date with Orange County in the semis of the Western Conference
Really?
playoffs. Of course, regardless of who wins, it would be a rematch of playoffs past from 2021. Orange County knocked both Colorado Springs and Oakland out that season on their route to winning the title over Tampa Bay. Pressure from Enriquez. And Oakland will get it clear with just over 25 minutes plus stoppage time left. An update on the stats. Oakland have just added 1 shot onto their tally from our halftime statistics. And Colorado Springs, of course, have added a goal since then.
And the biggest issue is they haven't had a shot on target, and that's a real concern for Oakland Roots. And the final third entries, I think, is the biggest red flag because you're not spending time in the attacking area. You haven't found a way to connect and find those passing lanes.
We're in the attacking area right now.
Third, you've got to be in that area of the pitch if
Oh,
you're going to claw back at this
Come
result.
on. Like, I mean, how can we expect to win games if we can't get some
Early going to the
pressure?
penalty area. Thomas sneaks in behind to get there before Riley. And then does, in the end, give it away to Hackshaw. Here's Diaz.
Right.
Real gets
Oh.
it away from Sinistera. And it's controlled by Speedy Williams for Colorado Springs.
Really?
This is where you see Colorado Springs just setting the tempo, playing a bit of keep away right now, enjoying the ball, exhausting Oakland.
We talked earlier about how important home field has been for Colorado Springs in their playoff history as Hanya is dragged down there. It's a free kick. Let's look at the last 3 years. We touched on it at the top. Colorado Springs, in the last 3 years of playoff games, unbeaten in home games. And of course, never won a road game. The Widener Field record in general, since the stadium brought the Switchbacks in, of course. Back that up as well, as both teams are going to make a change here. Also brought to you by William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. That's going to be it for Cam Riley. And an American soccer legend, Dom Dwyer, enters the fray. We know he's capable, and Oakland gets something out of him in this playoff game. And on the other side of things for Colorado Springs, that's going to be the end of the night for Tyreek McGee. Quincy Huerman is the first man off the bench for James Chambers and the Switchbacks.
It's interesting to see Dom Dwyer given such an extended period in the game, and it goes to show that they're looking to add something different to the attack. Obviously, was a prolific goal scorer in his prime. Now at 34 years of age, has dropped off a little bit. Only has a goal in his 14 appearances this season, but he offers something different, and he understands these big games from the moments in his career.
We can't let them just play keep away.
MLS clubs, Sporting Kansas City, probably tops among them, and Orlando, I think, deserves a mention in there as well. Scored 4 goals a couple of seasons ago for Atlanta United in Major League Soccer before returning to action this season with the Roots. And now Ronaldo Damas with a bit of a wardrobe touch up here.
Just trying to starve the time off the clock. The referee's been very clear, I'm adding it on, but what this does is it cuts a little bit of momentum. It makes you start to think of your Oakland Roots. It allows your side an opportunity to tactically think about what you're going to do here from this dead ball. It's an experienced player.
Louisville City, by the way, have advanced against North Carolina. North Carolina made it interesting at the end. 3-2 was the final score. Danny Cruz's side advanced to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Detroit City and Tampa Bay, still in extra time, they're tied up. Chance here for Colorado Springs. It's Yosuke Hanya cutting it back. He looks for a penalty. Referee waves it away.
Good save by Blanchette there. But saves by Blanchette aren't enough. We need...
It probably needs to be a yellow for simulation. And it has now been given as a yellow for simulation. We're going to get a glance at this. Hanya with a positive touch into the box. Beautiful cut back in the end. There's absolutely no contact there. Disappointing, because Hanya is such a quality player. He doesn't need to be doing that. And anytime you see a player like that...
Really?
It's just a shame.
Good.
Twice if they're going to recover this and send us to extra time. If not, Colorado Springs will punch their ticket and they'll host in the next round against Orange County. Goals from Enriquez and Damas on either side of halftime. Should mention, of course, just to go back to that Louisville result, Louisville won't know who they'll play until tomorrow afternoon. They'll get the winner of Indy, Lipa FC potentially pending there, or Rhode Island, who are the only team who have gone to Lynn Family Stadium and won this season. They did it by 5-2 at that earlier in the campaign to end that draw-palooza that Conno Smith side had going for a while. Here's Herrera. Trying to bend it up ahead. It's going to go out for a switchbacks throw. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select is the player's choice. We've seen the Select ball hit the back of the net a couple of times tonight in favor of Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs just trying to wane any second off they can. Anytime the ball goes out of play, they're slowing down and just
trying to trickle the time off the clock. They're well within their right to do so. The referee will have a big task ahead of him of trying to make sure he's disciplining any potential time-wasting and gamesmanship. But it's part of the game, and they've allowed themselves to be in this opportunity now to just let the clock drain.
And if the Switchbacks advance, they'll stay unbeaten in home playoff games at Widener Field. The only time that Colorado Springs has lost at home in the playoffs in the USL Championship, you have to go back to 2016, a long time ago. They lost at home by 2-1 to Vancouver Whitecaps 2, quite some time ago. 8 years if you want to be specific, of course.
And that
Ouch.
fills with so much confidence. And I mean, the fans tonight have been absolutely remarkable. You've heard them all game long.
Hearing them say how long
And
ago
you talk about that
2016
front
was,
man
I'm just like, ouch.
To know that you have that guaranteed if you get through, it is a really encouraging thing to have in your locker.
They're just playing keep away.
Go back to those last 2 road
And we're
games
letting
we
them.
talked about earlier. At the end of the regular season, they went to Monterey Bay. Colorado Springs did. They won there. And then they won at Sac Republic, which helped them clinch the number 2 seed on the final night of the
We're
regular
just being
season.
outmatched.
If they win here, they'll have another Widener Field playoff game to look forward to next week. But Oakland have other ideas. Here is Dom Dwyer. Could he be the spark to an Oakland revival here? He's going to commit a foul. At least that was the initial indication. And the referee now is telling Dom Dwyer that yes, indeed, the foul has gone against him.
Dom Dwyer thought he'd been able to earn a handball call on the player that fell on top of the ball, but you rarely see those. Do like the energy that Dom Dwyer brought to the table, though. A little bit of confidence in the corner, wasn't able to create all too much out of it, and then commits a silly foul that allows this opportunity for a reset. But you can just see in his player profile the difference he brings and a bit of dynamism.
Just has that pedigree that many players don't have. It's because of his talent, his experience, and great teams that he's had a chance to play on over the years. Won MLS Cup with SKC back in 2023, and a couple of Open Cups with them as well.
Here we go. Come on.
And Dwyer's going to get on the end of this for Oakland. He thought he
Oh.
was fouled inside the penalty area. Shouts for a Roots penalty. And the referee points for a goal kick.
Let's take a peek at what happens here. Dom
These
Dwyer
are
is
Colorado
trying
Springs
to get a look.
broadcasters, and even they're saying the referees are being a little too,
Dom Dwyer certainly thinks so.
are like, even they've been
He's not going to get the decision on Gavin
saying
Clinton.
that the referees are being a little too against the Roots.
I believe one person
So
was
call it both
control
ways,
of
guys.
Gavin Glinton, he's really walking a tightrope, and so is his staff. He is fed up.
Call it both ways.
Yeah.
Know that this content is not PG-13.
Yeah, we're going to leave it at that. Now Gavin Glinton is having a word with the assistant referee as well. Anyone that'll listen to him at this point, really. While all this chaos is happening on the touchline, Gavin Glinton's trying to make a substitution as well. Sinistera is going to come out. Ilya Alexiev is going to take his place. It's another William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center change.
It's really hard for Glinton in this moment because I do think that there's been some difficult decisions to handle. And you have this balance of trying to advocate for your players, but also not turn a referee against you or create too much havoc or become the storyline. And it's really a difficult line as a coach that you have to find the balance of.
This one's going to go straight through the heart of Oakland's defense. They do handle it. And on top of that, their structure defensively leads to the offside flag going up.
And they have really cleaned up defensively. They've looked more organized in this second half. It's only a penalty. They haven't created much from the run of play, have Colorado Springs, and that's a testament to the way that Oakland Roots have remained more compact and they've figured out the threat that Damas faces.
Alexeyev trying to make something happen here for the Roots, who are starting to run short on time. And before, Real is going to take the throw in. Colorado Springs, a substitution will be made here, and it'll be a curtain call for Jairo Enriquez, who's currently the match winner for the Switchbacks, and he'll be replaced by the match winner from Judgment Day, Juan Tejada. Here's the goal from the first half.
And again, it's that tenacious work rate to earn the dispossess and then to drive forward the give and go, and then the quickest to respond to the loose ball. Doesn't know too much about the first touch where he shins it to himself, but then to get onto the leftovers and strike it cleanly in that moment. A big, big goal that got the party started.
This team is really
Third goal of the
inconsistent.
season, and he'll get a rest. 12 minutes away. Colorado Springs,
As much as it would be
punching their
fun to
ticket
see
to
a
Western
championship, like,
Conference
I mean,
semifinal. Again, it's a William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center change. Tejada, who scored the
even
late
if we
winner
come
against
back
Sac
here,
Republic to get this home game for Colorado Springs, goes to work. He's able to ride the challenge. Here's Zach Zandy. And Zandy is fouled by Dwyer.
You see the sportsmanship from Dom Dwyer. He knows. He's a smart player. He knows he probably just gave a little bit too much physicality, but he has that sense of urgency. And sometimes in a team, you need to see this sense of urgency from a player that might not have done too much on the field for you this year, but is definitely a veteran presence in your locker room and someone that you probably look up to for the career that they've had in and around the United States of America. So good to see him give that energy.
Coming together there. Oh, it's going to be a yellow card for Quincy Huerman, it looks like here. He has a bit of a shake of the head.
You can hear the faint boos echo around the stadium right now as Herman has shown that yellow card.
Other Diverse's Health yellow card. Mental health and well-being for all. Remember to take a moment to breathe as we tick down on 11 minutes plus stoppage time left.
we gotta score one before stoppage time. Then we gotta score during stoppage
Only
time.
won a Gold Cup with the U.S. men's national
Minimum.
team back in 2017 as well. So certainly has the pedigree to help Oakland out here as Gagi gets his head to that ball in behind. Switchbacks let him leak in there. Herrera ends up making a pretty comfortable stop.
It's so tough for Gagi because of the distance from goal. It's always going to be difficult to find the back of the net and really challenge the goalkeeper. Get another look. The service doesn't have too much power on it. It's kind of floated in, and from that range, it's going to be so hard to find the perfect finish. Maybe in hindsight, he needs to try and head that across the face of goal for someone else to try and tap it in.
One other playoff update going on right now. Detroit and Tampa Bay are going to penalties. They began the shootout already. We'll keep you up to date on who advances. And of course, the winner of that game has a date with the Charleston Battery, has another yellow card. He's going to come out here. Looked like that was for Aiden Rocha for Colorado Springs. Diverse's Health yellow cards are starting to pile up here, and more moments to breathe apparently are needed.
It's the playoffs. There's always an added level of heat. You're always going to need an opportunity, and Rocha just pulling him back, stopping the counter-attack, sees a yellow card.
Of course.
It's confirmed, and now we're really got it all set up for you here. 2 goals needed for Oakland, 10 minutes plus stoppage time to get them, or their season ends here in Colorado Springs.
Come on.
Last free kick delivered, creates a shot on target. It was
Come on,
but
let's
it was
do
still
what we need to do.
opportunity.
From the set piece, it's cleared away by Speedy Williams. Not definitively cleared yet. As it's looped back into the penalty area, Gagi was making the run. He will not be able to keep it in play.
But those are the moments with less than 10 minutes in regulation on the clock where you need more. You have to be able to beat the first man in the service, and Oakland Roots are going to look back at these moments as wasted opportunities to create and cut it back. If you
Well,
get a goal here with 9 minutes, you really
with the Roots, there will be next year
But with
at the
more chances
Coliseum.
going on
gives the ball away. That also could be a yellow card worthy offense. The referee looks kindly on that.
I think it's saving grace as he's about to have to exit the field as a substitute anyway.
It's going to be part of a double swap. Damas and Hanya are both going to exit. It's another curtain call, this time for Damas. And Justin Dillon, it was a huge acquisition midway through the season. He'll come on, try to finish things out for the Switchbacks. And Kolma Raka is also going to come on. That's for Hanya. William J. Hibble, Sports Medicine and Performance Center substitutions confirmed for James Chambers and his side.
You see the presence of Dillon. He's just a different figure on the field. Towers above everybody else. Has 2 goals in his 11 appearances this season for Colorado Springs. Would love to add a third for the party.
And the Giant out to the far side. Can Oakland come up with something here? Give themselves a little bit of hope.
Come on.
Alexeev nearly rolled kindly for him, but it was well defended by Zach Zandy.
No.
Can the Switchbacks break? No. It's a good step by Hackshaw. Oakland get another
We're gonna
try
need
at
more
it.
than this.
And the cross into the middle. Again, another awkward moment. Rodriguez rises to get to it, but can't hit the target. After another awkward moment from Mahoney, the chance goes begging for the Roots.
We're gonna need to sign some players in the offseason to make it so that we can score.
Quick clearance from Mahoney, and towering above Rodriguez just couldn't find the connecting header to put it back on frame. But if you're a Grimroot, you're starting to feel like you're cooking a little bit, you're creating some chances, but one's got to give soon.
Well, he's had a career year, Johnny Rodriguez. 15 goal contributions. That's a career high. He became Oakland's all-time leading goal scorer this year as well. He had a wonderful brace at El Paso to confirm that earlier in the campaign. The Roots are going to have to score twice here in not much time. Colorado Springs, to be fair, have had some nervy moments at times here this season. They're 6 minutes away from advancing to the next round of the playoffs for the first time since 2022. Dwyer, reverse ball in behind. Alexeev's got the big chance, and Herrera thwarts him. Biggest stop of the night for Christian Herrera. A little bit of life from Oakland, but that was a huge opportunity missed.
It's an amazing save from Herrera.
Trayvon Reed has his shot rise over the top. Another look.
And this is a great run through, but you've got to put it either side of the goalkeeper. Herrera stands his ground. He does everything he can in that moment. He gets his angle correct, but it's straight at his body. You've got to force a better save in this moment.
Alexeev with just 2 league goals so far this season. He nearly gave Oakland some life, and there's still 5 minutes left. Could that maybe help to turn the tide?
Let's hope so.
Early ball in for Tejada. It's held by Blanchett. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the new SXM app. Of course, the USL Championship Final also be on
I really
Sirius
want us to outdraw the Earthquakes next season. That's where the real thing is our attendance versus San Jose.
And trying to delay Oakland's restart. And then Hackshaw, rare miscue from him, gives it right back to Herrera to milk even more time off the clock for Oakland, who already don't have much time to work with.
It's just so tough because for Hackshaw, he knows what he's doing there. He's trying to drive a ball forward, but when you put too much on it in that moment, you allow the easy pickup for Herrera and you're running out of opportunities.
Well, we talked about it coming in. It was such a difficult ending to Oakland's regular season. Just one win in their final 8 games, and well, it didn't spill over tonight. I think that's fair to say. They had some positive moments. They could still have some positive moments. A couple of bounces haven't gone their way. Gavin Glinton would tell you a couple of calls have not gone their way. And they have to try and persevere. I know Oakland fans may be tired of hearing phrases like that, but that's what it's going to take. Is now Christian Herrera is down as well. And it's a common spirit health injury stoppage.
We'll see what's going on with Herrera, but I have a feeling that he might be using some liberties to allow his side a bit of a water break and last-minute instructions. The Roots have done well with a lot of things in this game. They'll be really disappointed with the way the decisions went, but as we talk about all the time, you can't allow the result of a game this important to go down to referees' decisions. You've got to manage your opportunities better. You've got to find ways to be more clinical when you do get chances.
Colorado Springs broadcasters aren't wrong.
It does feel like as much as they played well in this game, there is that little bit of a hangover from that where maybe you don't have the same confidence that you would have if you'd had more games where you'd had the resilience to fight back in and get results.
The other playoff game that was left going on has now concluded. The Tampa Bay Rowdies win on penalties at Detroit City. Remember, we had so many saves in the shootout last night between Vegas and Sac Republic. Both goalkeepers had to come up big again. There were multiple stops again in that shootout. The Rowdies advanced 3-1 on penalties. Oakland trying to fight their way back here. Herrera. He's going to get there. Speedy Williams may have been pushed by Gaggy, who's already on a yellow. And now pushing and shoving. Mahoney takes exception to it. Gaggy's got to be careful here because another yellow and he's off. There's actually multiple players that are in that discussion. And Abdu Njai, who's been trying his best here to settle things down, breaks it up.
I liked Hackshaw as the captain there, coming all the way back from the defensive line to involve himself as a leader to separate the action as we get another look at what's caused this tension. It's to do with the follow-through on the goalkeeper. From this angle, we'll see. I feel like there wasn't too much there to cause what we just saw.
It was Alexiev who was involved as the reverse ball here plays in. Justin Dillon. Can the switchbacks wrap this up? Dillon will reset it for Speedy Williams, and if anyone has the soccer IQ in a moment to evaluate the situation, it's Speedy Williams, and he resets the attack.
They're just playing keep away.
A bit of a stutter. It's so impressive the pace that he's able to control and dictate in the game. Just really comfortable in these moments.
Tejada.
I don't think it's just like, I mean, even though it's easy to say that calls didn't go our way and bounces didn't go our way, like, there's a lot of
7 added minutes. Brought to you by the TikTok Shop. That is about as music to Oakland ears as you can get. Still a lot of time left if the Roots can get one back. But that's a giveaway, and it's Speedy Williams, who hasn't scored this season for Colorado Springs. Tried to wrap it up.
And he wasn't too far off of the mark. It's a giveaway that creates his opportunity. Speedy Williams picks his head up, goes for goal, is dipping last minute. Keeper watches it all the way.
Oh, there's still time, only just, for a Roots revival in stoppage time.
come on.
And there's going to be a takeaway here. Donaciano helped along. Good challenge by Lacroix at the expense of a throw with 6 minutes left.
It's an important interception by Lacroix there, and this is where focus has to stay. Preserve the clean sheet. That has to be the goal for Colorado Springs right now.
Surely Oakland will try to throw this right into the mix. Does get into the penalty area, but Colorado Springs will be able to leak out here, and they could have the numbers if they hurry. Tejada up ahead, and Tejada keeps on going. He's going to get back on the end of it, and Tejada's in behind.
It's a good save by Blanchett, but
Play for a McDivitt Law Firm corner on the
like
far side.
we cannot be having this happen. It's like I'm just gonna say, like, I mean, as much as you can talk about calls not going our way, like, I mean, this game, honestly, if it weren't for Paul the Wall Blanchett, it could be a lot worse than just 2-0.
From the McDivitt Law Firm corner, we're
Like,
in
this
the
could be
corner.
as
Switchbacks
ugly
will try to
as
use up
last
more of the
week
clock
was.
once. Tejada nearly scored again. For
So
Colorado Springs,
yeah.
able to punch their ticket. Dillon and Rocha hold it up as long as they can. Oakland will get the goal kick.
Bit of a disappointing effort from Dillon there, just didn't use his body, and he's got a big frame in the right way. Oakland Roots resilient in their ability to try and get this one back and get an opportunity to drive forwards.
That's a giveaway by Hackshaw. Tejada leads the charge again. Dillon touched away by Donaciano. It's just going to keep helping the Switchbacks' cause the more the Roots give the ball away like that.
I think it's tired minds. They're exhausted. It's been a tough end to the season. The mental roller coaster, the obstacles that you face when you have such a poor September and October, go into this game, the travel, tired minds, tired bodies. Great move by Tejada.
That's the second Maradona turn we've seen tonight. Referee waves on advantage for Zach Zandy.
They're not wrong, like, with all this possession time that Colorado Springs is getting. Like, this is...
Through a tight window.
I definitely prefer Maradona in my attacking third. than
This
on the
game is as
offensive
ugly
side.
as last week was. The score might not look as bad, but... like, this game is as ugly at this point.
Possessed. And again, Oakland not able to put the passes together. Real is going to open up here for Speedy Williams if the Switchbacks want to polish this off. Quincy Huerman cutting inside. It falls for Maraca! And he just missed, scoring a wonder strike from the edge of the penalty area. Yellow card comes out as the dust settles. And Maraca was, well, at least inches away, if not maybe a foot if he's a bit harsh.
What a goal this would have been, though. To respond to this, little toe poke away, first time, strike it this clean and almost get enough bend around it because it's coming at him so fast at an unpredictable angle.
Memo Diaz got the yellow card for Oakland. Versus Health, yellow card there as the throw-in is going to go Colorado Springs way on the far side. Quincy Huerman and the Switchbacks are slamming the door shut in these last couple of minutes.
Like, I mean, am I going to accept that this game is just lost? Like, yeah, at this point. I'm enough of a fan to see it through, though.
Because it helps you so much in the next round as well.
eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Couple of minutes left. Another chance for Colorado Springs to polish this off. They'll get a free kick. And barring a miracle here, as the Giant is going to be booked as well. Just added to the list tonight. Another diverse health.
This,
Yellow card.
like I said, like, I mean, this isn't about just referee calls. Like, I mean,
To be fair,
Colorado Springs, like, props to you guys. Full on, the better team won. Like, that's what I have to say about this game. Full on,
Colorado
it's...
Springs are nearly home and dry with a conference semifinal berth. And Aiden Rocha is down with a common spirit health injury stoppage.
This is full on the better team won. It's not... like, I mean, it might... the score might not look too bad. Might only be one goal that was allowed not on a penalty kick. But, like, I mean, the fact that to end this game, you know, we're not playing with urgency and getting the ball to the net, like, I mean,
James Chambers is hoping
yeah.
a miracle here if the Switchbacks advance, and he'll be available for a date with Orange County with a berth in the Western Conference Final at stake in the next round.
Like, I mean, they're 20 seconds away from the next whistle stopping the game.
Rocha is back up onto his feet. It is going to be a free kick scoring opportunity for
And-
Colorado Springs. They're brought to you by Underline, delivering gigabit fiber internet, underline.com/COS. And Colorado Springs will take it into the corner, but they don't keep it there. 7 minutes are up. It's now up to Abdu Njai to see how much longer we play. And Johnny Rodriguez handles the ball, and that is likely going to be that.
Just haven't heard anything from Johnny Rodriguez. It's been too silent from him. I will say that they need to work on, Colorado Springs needs to work on their game management and tactics inside the corner because they haven't done well at running the clock.
Well, there's a lot of good things to look forward to for the
Colorado
Oakland. They're gonna be
Springs
playing in the
certainly-
Oakland Coliseum, a famous venue.
Certainly has
Next
done good
season,
running the
USL
clock. I disagree with
Championship,
with their
and in
announcers.
some ways, I really say that Gavin Glitton has gotten this team back on track. In other ways, there's things to improve on. I think the coaching staff would also agree with that. Things just didn't quite go their way tonight. There is some time left for them to try and make it interesting, though. And Johnny Rodriguez is in, and it's a wonderful block by Matt Mahoney. Rodriguez can't believe he didn't get the shot off.
Take another look at this service coming in from Diaz. A beautiful ball into the danger zone. The first touch from Rodriguez is beautiful, but that diving block from Mahoney is remarkable.
And it's the last act of the night.
Yep.
Colorado Springs wins and advances to the Western Conference
Yep.
semifinals for the first time since 2022. James.
All right. Like I said, the better team won. Like, I mean, yeah, as an Oakland fan, I'm a little disappointed to see my team get eliminated like that. And now that means for Oakland because like that now means that we've got a long off season from sports if you're an Oakland fan. So we've got that long off season now. Disappointing. Yeah, the better team won. But I mean, like, from what I know about the Roots, like, I mean, it was a good turnaround this year to make the playoffs. It's disappointing that we ended the season getting so many shutouts, getting shut out so much. And now, you know, we end the season, what do you know? Getting shut out, allowing the opposition seven goals unanswered if you go back to the final week of the season, even if you want to say that we had already clinched the playoffs, so that game didn't matter. Like, I mean, we still got shut out in the playoffs. So, you know, disappointing end to the season. You know, but, like, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Coliseum next year. So, like, I mean, we've got good things ahead with the Coliseum. It's just disappointing that it had to end that way. And, yeah, I hope to be doing more Roots live streams in the future, whether it be at the Coliseum or whether it be like this, where I'm just in my room. I will make the commitment. I will make it to the Coliseum next year to see the Roots, because I want to make it back to Oakland Coliseum. You can check out my videos from Oakland Coliseum, and that is how I became a Roots fan, is through Oakland Coliseum. But, like, I mean, I will make the commitment that I will make it to Oakland Coliseum next year to see my Roots play. It's just, it's tough to end the season that way, you know? It's always tough. Like, I mean, for Oakland sports, you know, we just lost the A's, and it's a tough elimination for the Roots. The better team definitely won. I'm not going to contest that, but, you know, it was a tough elimination.